dignity that comes from clean air, having clean air, clean water, and clean energy jobs and environmental justice. And folks, like you, environmental issues have been close to my heart for a long time. You know, it was one of the first people to introduce a climate bill I did back in 1986. Part of it was because I grew up, and maybe there's one Delawarean here who knows where Claymont, Delaware is. I grew up in, oh, all right. Well, I grew up in Claymont, Delaware, which is just on the Pennsylvania line. At the time I was growing up there in an area called Brookview Apartments, there were more oil refineries in that neck of the woods, in that southeast corner of Pennsylvania, than in Houston, Texas. And I went to school about a quarter mile up the road on the thing called the Philadelphia Pike. And Mom used to drive us up because it was a very busy highway, and drop us off. And on those days early on, when there'd be the first frost, you turn on the windshield wipers, not a joke, and there'd be an oil slick on the window. Literally an oil slick on the front windshield. And how many folks across the country have had similar experiences? You know, we know public health impacts of toxins in air and water, and there's real effects. So I think it's one of the reasons I had childhood asthma. So many people in that area. We had one of the highest cancer rates in the nation in that part of Delaware for the longest time. That's why when I was running for president, I made it a priority to meet with environmental justice leaders. And I remember one conversation we had in the summer of 2020. Their stories were unforgettable. People living near factories seeing the paint on their cars literally peel off because the air was so corrosive. Imagine being a parent, scared to death about what the air and rain was going to do to your kids. Landfills and garbage incinerators located right in the middle of communities. Drinking water.
I have good news to share with you. This morning, many relief checks are on the way and your deposit dates have also been confirmed. Several guaranteed income programs across the country are expected to provide over $500 in payments to thousands of Americans, but many insist that this financial relief can be expanded to all Americans, even those with the higher incomes. My dearest friend, I will be sharing with you all the details. Please watch until the end of this video. Welcome to Updates Area YouTube channel. In the wake of the economic crisis driven by the crisis, many cities export universal basic income programs to help those who are affected financially. Several guaranteed income pilot programs are scheduled to continue throughout this year. And next year, at least 45 cities in the United States started some kind of guaranteed income pilot program in 2020. The number of programs has increased over time. Generally, a lottery determines recipients from a pool of eligible applicants. Payments can vary from $200 to $1,000 a month. Some cities even issue bi-weekly payments. Next month, on May 15, 2023, eligible residents in Chelsea, Massachusetts will receive a relief check of up to $400. It will be the third and final payment of a food and utilities subsidy program which distributed the first two on March 15th and April 15th. The project known as the Chalisa Eats program is sending the checks ranging from $200 to $400 to hundreds of eligible households. The recipients have been receiving the subsidy through debit cards which were handed out in March. The initiative issues varying amounts depending on the size of household. A one-member household would receive $200 and a household of two will receive $300, and those with three or more people will collect $400. The city of Chalisa began to guaranteed income program at the height of the crisis, and it has been the largest project sort in the state. In the city of El Monte, California, more than 2,500 households have applied for the city granted income program, the first its kind program in the city. It seeks to provide eligible single-parent households who are impacted by the crisis